My name is Eric Neal Porter. I had acute torticollis for a couple years prior to seeing Dr. Maykel. 3 or 4 weeks with Dr. Maykel, and I never had an acute torticollis attack again. Dr. Maykel assumed kinesiology, which I think he's probably the best I've ever seen in that field, and a combination of his adjustments and figuring out that the shoes that I was wearing on stage were torquing my back, which affected my neck. And through these processes and eliminations, I've never had the problem since. And this is after 2 or 3 other doctors had tried to cure me. You know, I described that they had me do weights and that I went to other chiropractors, but it was his kinesiology and the fact that he found out that my heels on stage were the underlying problem to it, and the other doctors never even looked at my feet. In speaking about an acute torticollis, I have to say that it's probably one of the most painful things I've ever gone through when the problem spasmed. And couldn't drive in a car, couldn't hit a bump, had to lay flat on my back, couldn't sneeze or cough without it touching off the spasm from my neck that went all the way down my back, down my legs. So although I kept active when I'd have the attacks of acute torticollis, it was painful and bedridden. About 15 years later, I was having gallbladder attacks. Now, I have to mention that I've always gone to Dr. Maykel since the acute torticollis for tune-ups. And I'm 60 years old, and so I'm in pretty good shape. So it's not that I lie around and I'm not active. I'm a very, very active guy. And I own a landscape snow removal company. And about 15 years later, I was scheduled for a gallbladder operation, and I had been having severe gallbladder attacks. And I happened to be plowing Dr. Maykel's driveway one night in a blizzard, and he came out while I was shoveling, and I mentioned that I had to be in the hospital in the morning for a gallbladder operation. And he immediately said, "Cancel the operation, and I'll see you in my office tomorrow at 9. And when I showed up, he ran me through a liver gallbladder flush. And it took a week. There was some fasting and hydration involved. And he actually had me drink some Epsom salts and lied on my right side all evening and did an organic coffee flush in the morning, and all the stones came out with my stool, which I framed and had in my office. And I have not had a gallbladder attack since, and I have not had the operation. So that was maybe one of the more miraculous things he's done for me. It worked perfectly. The next time I needed Dr. Maykel drastically, other than my tune-ups and my visits, I was under a lot of stress with the recession, and it was just only a year and a half ago. And I thought I had been bitten by spiders all along my shoulder and down my right breast into my stomach area. And I went to my family doctor, and he says, "You have shingles." I had a terrible case of shingles. My doctor gave me some pills that did nothing. I called Billy. I told him about it, and he said, "I'll be right over." He had a machine. He visited me 3 times, and he waved a machine over the shingles, some kind of ultraviolet light or a specific machine that he had. And the next day I felt better, and in 3 weeks I had no pain at all, and the doctor said I would have my scars for a year, and I had them for 2 months. I have not had any reoccurring shingles since. That was the third miracle. I would tell anybody with problems that they can't solve through Western medicine or pills and drugs to absolutely look into kinesiology, and I think that Dr. Maykel is the best that I've ever been to.